Would you like to reach millions of viewers? Would you like to generate increased brand awareness? Guess what? You're at the right place. Advertise on my worldwide network TV today, and your business, product, or service, it deserves it. And it will get the exposure that you need to take your business to the next level. TV advertising still has many advantages and is a major part of overall advertising and marketing, and an excellent way to get your business in front of millions of viewers. Hey, don't get left behind. Get Empowered Woman Network on your side and advertise today. Don't delay. Check us out at www.empoweryourpower.com. I hope to see you there on the Level Up.
Living life, feeling good inside. Ask me why, it ain't no surprise. We got the tea, good for you and me. Kings and queens, check out Ebony. Cancer, diabetes, STDs, and infertility. Endometriosis, vaginosis, weight loss, and fatigue. It's what we do, it's made for me and you. It's that rejuvenating feeling, gotta come and get your healing. Ebony, healing.
Am muted. How's everybody doing on tonight? Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited tonight to be talking to a couple of amazing men and brothers, I should say. And we're going to get to the nit-grit tonight. Yes, we are. We're going to have a really candid conversation with them on our Empowered Woman TV Network podcast. And the theme is just be honest about it. Just be honest about it. Yeah. So we're going to have this candid conversation with these men, and they're going to tell us some things about their perspective as it relates to relationships with women. And again, it could be relationships with women as it relates to on the job, in a marriage, single, as your sibling, your cousin, okay, your niece, whatever, but their relationships with women. And remember, sometimes there can be some relation slips. Yes, I said it. There can be some relation slips. And so we definitely want to kind of talk about it. We won't have a whole lot of time tonight because I know we are already teeing up for the women in a couple of weeks when they're going to come in and talk about some of their relationship advice and relation slips. I keep getting tongue-tied on their relation slips that they've had over the years. Yeah. And just being very candid and honest. And so the goal is, guess what the goal is? Yeah. It's for us to have better relationships, be more a little bit open-minded about what the other gender is thinking, how they may feel, how they may view things, and just really have a safe environment to have that conversation. And so I'm going to open it up. I'm excited that my brother Anthony is in the house on tonight. How you doing, brother?
Hello.
Hey there. And also I've got my brother Khalil here as well. Hey, he's already in his car. Hey there.
How y'all doing tonight?
How y'all doing?
Good. All is well.
All is well. That is, I love that. All is well. Hey, I see one of my sisters here. And she's already chiming in. She said, hey to y'all. And she said, ooh, this will be good. Yes, it will. It's going to be great. And so hang in there with us now because we got, like I said, about a good 27 minutes here, okay? Well, maybe about 22 at this point because y'all know I'm a talker, right, Anthony? And Khalil.
It's okay.
Shout out to my brothers who bailed on me tonight.
Shouts out to them.
Y'all gonna hold the fort down for them tonight?
With no problem.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. They are their brother's keeper. They're going to hold the fort down. You know, they were like, look, sister, I thought I could do it, but I just can't do it. And I just want to ask y'all real quick. I'm going to start with that question. Let's deal with the elephant in the room. Why do you think your brother said no? They don't want to come online and have a really candid conversation about relationships with women.
Because they are more likely in a relationship at the moment, and they don't want to say anything that could be a detriment to their current relationship.
Yeah.
What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, because if whatever their thoughts are, most often the women probably read between the lines and think they're talking about them. So yeah, it's a possibility.
It's a very possibility.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we do that. What'd you say, Brother Khalil?
I said pretty much.
Right on. Yeah, we do that sometimes.
I was just in the room with my mother and my sister. I felt like I had to leave though.
Oh, you know what? That's real talk. Okay. You know, sometimes y'all do have to leave. Okay. You do have to leave to have a conversation sometimes, because sometimes, and I'm going to say it, Anthony, I'm about to say it. Sometimes we as women are a little bit emotional, and you're right. Sometimes we do take what you're saying personal. Sometimes, I'm not saying y'all don't play a role. I'm just saying, you know, so it makes sense that Khalil may have left. Okay. Just in case.
Well, I mean, women often say they want the truth, but that's not really always the truth. So,
give me an example of that, Anthony.
I mean, just as simple as how do you look? How do I look in this? And if you tell the truth, you know, it can pose a problem. And I've found out that even women, when they're around each other, they don't be honest with each other about what's really going on, how they feel. So,
wow, that's deep. Ladies, if you're watching, please make a note of it, because I'm going to be talking to y'all. I've got a few women that are going to be on the panel in a couple of weeks, and you just said a mouthful, because you're right. A lot of times we aren't very transparent with each other about how we look, you know, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Not making an excuse. I'm just giving you a reason. Sometimes it's because the other sister might not be at a level of confidence to where they can accept the truth about what they look like in that outfit or that hairstyle or that lipstick, you know. And then it's also a matter of opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's my opinion that doesn't look good on you. Who gave me the Fashionista award? So, but you're right. But you just said a mouthful that we say we want the truth, but a lot of times we really can't handle the truth.
Yeah, sometimes.
Wow.
Sometimes I think women want a version of it, and I get it to a certain extent, because I've learned about women is a lot of women, not you, not Kaylee, but a lot of women suffer with low self-esteem. So,
yeah. You know, that's a very true thing. And how do you as men? So here we go, Khalil. You ready? How do you handle that? Because, you know, women, we go in and out of our self-esteem journey, right? Sometimes we're way up here. Sometimes we're, you know, it just really depends. I mean, we've got all kinds of hormones going on sometimes in our body, and we change, and we're different from y'all. Okay. So how do you handle that? Let's say with, you know, your significant other, whether it be your girlfriend, your fiance, or your wife.
Khalil, I'll let you go first.
You want me? I kind of wanted to piggyback off of what you said.
Okay, I'll jump on it. So for me, when I'm dealing with someone, I have to find something sexy and appealing about them.
Wow.
And because I've been with very, very, very attractive women, but they can have nasty attitudes, and so it throws off their looks. And when I say nasty attitudes, I'm saying they are they compare themselves to other women, or they put other people down, or they can have a lot of arrogance about themselves because of their looks. And I don't really, care for that. So for me, intellect is sexy to me. The way you may dress or walk or carry yourself is appealing to me. And so a lot of women think that if they dress, if they're scantily clad, that's what we want. And what women have to understand is when we see you dressed like that, we see you something to play with. It's like a toy.
Wow. That's real talk.
Yeah.
That's just being honest about it.
Yeah.
So, you answered that question and you went to a whole nother subject. And I wanted to address both of these. Before I address that, and it's going to drive me nuts not to address it right away, I got to hear what you got to say, Khalil. How do you deal with, work through, accommodate, however you want to look at it, your woman, your fiance, your girlfriend, your wife, your friend, whatever, that might go through that roller coaster of self-esteem? How do you work with her?
I'm not the most loveliest guy when it comes to that. Accommodation right there.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to assess the situation and react in a way that might add fuel to the fire. Because I'm a very truthful guy, so I'll put it all out there. I'll announce what I perceive from the situation, and it might not be what the woman wants to hear, but I feel or I think it's something that she needs to hear. So
Okay.
I'm not necessarily the most courteous guy when it comes to feelings getting hurt. So
you're very transparent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like both of you are. So you've got to be with a woman who is, pretty strong in her own right, and confident in her own right. And I heard you clearly, Brother Anthony, when you said that, the whole skanky dress is not for you. Now, remember, I want to say this. I'm not making excuses because, anytime I do these things, I get so many messages, y'all, and they be giving me a hard time. But those of you who know me know what I'm about to say. That we live and we learn what we live and live what we learn. And we have been conditioned in this world. So I pray that it stops now that we're hearing from even more brothers that saying it's not okay. But we live in this world where we think that a man wants us to bear all, that we just got to show everything in order to get your attention. And then you're going to, when I hear you clearly saying a man of the right caliber, that's the furthest thing from his mind of you bearing, you got to show all your cleavage and you got to show all. Now you can't hide your curves. I mean, that's what God made, but you shouldn't have to show parts that shouldn't be shown in public like that. Right. And so you're saying that's not cool. I'm totally unattracted to that. I'm more attracted to, you said, her mind, her intellect. Right. And you're not attracted to a woman who's so confident that she's narcissistic and it's a turnoff because she's like snooty and bougie and like I'm the best looking thing in here, Right. So you're not attracted to that either.
Nope, not at all. I mean, at the end of the day, the intellect is very important because we got to talk, and if you can't communicate, if you can't talk about a wide variety of subjects, then we're going to be very limited as to what we can do, what we can say, things of that sort. So a woman has to be a reader to be with me and know what's going on in the world. And a lot of women don't. They would rather, talk about Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada, and all of that. And they find they value. They think that brings them value, and it really doesn't. So.
Wow. And again, I'm going to say it again, brother. You just hit another nail on the head here. society, we've allowed, I'm not going to say society's done it alone because we play a large role in it because we've allowed it. We've allowed society and other people to make us feel that those things validate us. I mean, some of us want to have it just because we want to have it. We worked hard. We actually thought it was cool and we want to have it. But many of us, the majority, want it because we feel like it's going to validate us. And what I hear you saying is that's not even, I don't even care what your purse you're carrying, as long as you carry the purse, I don't mean, and you want to talk about something other than that.
Right.
And I like this comment real quickly, Khalil, before you make a response. From Kaylee. She says, my uncle says that the more skin a woman shows tells how insecure and unhappy she is about herself. That's what uncle told her.
I can dig that.
Wow.
I think the law of attraction plays a huge part in how you go out and present yourself in the world. So if you want to go out and present yourself like a hot girl, you're going to get the elements that come with a hot girl. You're gonna get some little playboys, some boys who just try and play with you, try to have a good time. They're not trying to build with you. They see you don't want to build with yourself. You're out there showing them all your goodies.
Wow.
For no cost.
All your goodies.
You just go put it on display for whoever to see. And some women, they like to call it expressing themselves, but you probably haven't made it to a certain type of frequency to want to express yourself in a different way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a right between the eyes right there. You haven't made it to a certain frequency to be able to express yourself the right way.
I won't say the right way, but in a different way.
In a different way.
Okay,
I thought you said right. Sorry, brother. A different way. Wow. Yep. So I have a question for you. I'm about to shift gears a little bit because I definitely going to have to bring you all back because you've said some things that I would love to dig a little bit deeper, but I can't tonight because of time. But I have a question. Some of the questions that women have asked me to ask y'all. So the first question is, have you ever been cheated on before?
Yes.
What about you, Khalil?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the question they wanted me to ask, the second part of that question is, how did you handle that? And let me tell you why they told me to ask you this. They said that majority of the time, women are you see where I'm going, don't you, Anthony? Majority of the time, women are cheated on by men, is what they said. Okay, whether you're married or you're in or you're in a relationship, prayerfully getting toward being married. Okay, and that when the man cheated on the woman, she was supposed to just kind of do this and deal with it because it was probably her fault, is what they said. And if a woman cheated on a man, then it was just like the world was going to end. He was never going to forgive her. I mean, literally, it's horrible. So tell me how you all handled that and how you really expected it to, really how you expected it to go, because they really want to know, like, how did y'all feel about that?
You want to go first, Mr. Williamson?
I'll let you go.
Well, it's always different depending on the relationship you've been building with that person. Some you expect the worst outcome. You already mentally prepared yourself. And some, it'll surprise you, it'll take you for a loop because you didn't see that in their character. But ultimately, it's some men out here, they're not right within. They're not content within yet. They don't have that balance. So they more likely might trip out, do some crazy stuff. They might start beating the woman. They might, the multiple outcomes that can come from that type of situation. But a guy like me, out of here.
You just said peace, out of here.
Yeah. I see what you value.
See what your value is.
Yeah, I know where my mind was at when I did those type things. So there's no purpose in making a big scene about it.
Just move on, huh? Peace.
Assess the situation, learn from it, and go on about your way.
Assess the situation, learn from it, and go about your way. Peace. Love it. What about you, Brother Anthony?
Well, for us, for me, and and I speak for a lot of men, it's a matter of respect. So once a man feels disrespected, he's done. He's done. Now, how did I handle my situation? I let I moved on. I'm like, that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I forgave you. I forgave her.
Okay.
And moved on.
Right.
And one of the reasons why, let me answer the question though, why is a big deal for men when women cheat. I'm gonna tell you why.
Tell me.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Come on, bring it on.
Because we don't ever want to feel compared. We don't want to ever feel like we're being compared to another man. So if we felt like the man completely rocked her world,
okay,
essentially to us, she's no good to us anymore. That's why that scene in The Best Man, when Morris Chestnut was the guy, he was sticking and moving all his life. Then he got with this one girl who he thought was perfect and got with his best man. Mm-hmm. In his mind, he was thinking about all the stuff that she did to him and he did to her. And for us, that doesn't work. And whenever a man gets to the point where he doesn't care about who you sleep with as a woman, he is completely done with you.
Wow.
That's how you know when a man is done with you. If he does not care about who you be with,
then you know he's done.
He's done.
You know what? Public service announcement. That's real talk. If he doesn't care where you're going, some people say, now I have to put it out there, Anthony. Some people say, well, he trusts me, so he doesn't really care where I'm going. He knows I'm going to come back and he knows I'm going to do well. And so he trusts me. But what I hear you saying, which is so true, because my husband is like this and he's in a whole nother country. I mean, he wants to know, he calls it my, carry me along with him, carry him along with me. So he wants to know. So I'm glad to hear that validation that from a man's perspective. And I know you talk to your brothers, like if I don't care where you're going and who you're with, you're not saying be obsessive with it, right? You're just saying I should know where you're at. And if I don't care, then I'm pretty much done with you.
Yes.
Would you say that's because y'all are real, that men are innately territorial?
I would say to a certain degree, but again, it's a matter of respect. So you take a woman like yourself and you got a husband. So the bottom line for us is we want the old saying, and it is true. We want a complete woman who's about business in the streets.
I got you.
Right?
I got you.
And if we know that you handle business in the street, that you know how to handle a situation where men may try to come on to you, we know you know how to handle yourself. That's one thing. But if we feel like you're a type of woman that you just don't get enough attention,
wow,
and you have to address, you have to give attention to any man that comes, trying to show you attention. Because what women have to understand is any attention you give a man is some attention. And what it says to him is simply this. If you give him conversation, in his mind, he's thinking, I got a shot. Don't ever tell a man this. Don't ever tell a man this. Well, I'm married, or I have a boyfriend, or I'm engaged. Don't tell a man that.
Wow.
This is what you tell a man. I'm not interested. I'm not even interested. I'm not interested.
Wow.
Because when you say to a man, I'm married, or I have a boyfriend, or significant other, you're saying we read that as, well, if I wasn't married, then I would. That's what we hear.
You know what? Wow.
That's why we keep coming, because you keep giving us conversation, you give us your time. So any attention is some attention.
Any attention is, what'd you say, brother? What'd you say, Brother Khalil?
Agreed.
You know, this is not the first time I've heard this, Anthony. It's not the first time I've heard this. And, you know, my husband always says, my ex-husband told me this. My baby daddy, we have an amazing relationship. And I was going to ask y'all a question about that in a minute. But I remember him telling me, for you, he said, he was telling me about my different features on my face. And he said, when a man looking at you and you're talking to them, and then he does this, and you can feel that he's looking through. He showed me what the looks like, and I see it all the time now because he showed me. He said, when they do that, Denise, and I was married to him at the time for 17 years, he said, you need to close the sale, because I was a sales manager at the time, or you need to close your book and exit. He said, because I'm telling you what that means. He said, we love the chase. And it doesn't matter if you're married, and you just basically just confirm that again. It doesn't matter. It's just like it's attention. So they love the chase. They may not want you, but they just want what you got, and they don't care who you're with. And that's majority. That's not everybody, but it's majority. And so you just confirmed that for me. Like, any attention is attention. Like, wow.
So he told you right. So let me give you the caveat to that. So it's not only what you say. So you say you're not interested, then your actions after that have to line up with what you said.
Wow.
So you can say, well, I'm not interested, but, and then talk about, still giving him conversation again. Let your actions line up with what you say. Because we only listen to your actions, not what comes out your mouth.
Wow, women, teach. I see you, Kaylee. Teach us, sir. You only listen to what we do, what you see, not what we say.
What you say. Here it is. Let me give you a good example. That's why a woman can complain, and we do nothing. But if she complains and she changes her activities and how she flow and how she moves, then it piques our attention. Like, hold, wait a minute.
You know what? That is so true. Y'all, ladies, y'all better be taking notes of this now. That is so true. That is so true. That is so true. Because if we complain, if you're doing something, hey, does anybody know J6, who that is?
No.
That's my brother.
That's your brother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I see you, J6. You see me? Can you wave at me if you can hear me, brother? All right. You want me to bring you on? Just nod yes or no. Okay. I need to, hey there, brother.
What's going on?
How you doing?
I can't complain.
We got another generation in here, don't we? I love it.
Love it.
How can I address you, sir?
J6.
J6, what it says. Okay, I'm there. Me, Anthony, and your brother Khalil. Awesome.
For sure.
Can't hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We can't hear him?
Hello?
You can't hear me?
I can hear him.
Y'all can hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, Anthony, they can hear me. You can't hear me. No, I can't hear you.
I think he muted out.
I can't hear him now either.
Okay, let me see. Hold on a second. Okay, say something now, Anthony. Talk. Can you leave, Anthony, and come back? Hold on. I'm going to text to you. Look at the screen. Leave and come back. Okay. Leave and come back. Okay. All right. I'll bring you back, J6. You there, brother? You there, brother? J6, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Khalil, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I need to address that comment real quick while we're waiting on Brother Anthony to come back. There he is.
I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Yeah.
Yay. All right. Because this was getting good. Because this is real. Like, let me say this. That is so true. Women, hear this clearly, because he just spelled it out for us. Because this is really true. If we complain all the time about our husband or our friends not doing something, we complain.
I don't think your audience can see me.
That we can't see you now. We can't see your camera. I think it's your internet, brother.
Yeah, it's full swing.
That's interesting. Let's see if we give it. I would say try one more time. Go out the room and then come back in. It's something that's not connecting. But that's true. We'll complain, but yet our actions, show that we're okay with the, I'm going to say, with the disrespect or the disregard, or, maybe they're supposed to be doing something that they're held accountable for. Excuse me. And they're not doing it, but you just talk and you don't change your mode. Okay. And so they're like, if she's doing that, then she's just talking. She's just, And so what our brother is telling us is that they don't hear what we say. And whether it be right, wrong, or indifferent, that's how their mind thinks. That's how they process things. And I heard Khalil say, yeah, to that too. They're going by our actions. They're going by our actions.
Wow. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
Can your audience hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. I don't know what happened. That's really weird. But let me ask you this question. So when we write y'all letters, is that effective in y'all doing what we need y'all to do outside of our actions? If we need y'all to take care of something and you're watching our actions, right? And it's not working out because I'm complaining, but my actions are doing something different. And so you're not moving or responding. But if I write you a letter, is it true that in writing, y'all take it serious?
I don't think so. I think actions prove to be more effective than anything. Now, actions means that you don't do the norm.
Okay.
So, for instance, if you're tired of him coming home at a certain time, where your action says, okay, when he comes home, you don't be there. If you want to know where I am, you need to be where I am. So that's what I mean.
Whoa. So you know what? When I it's interesting you say this, because this is totally opposite from what we do when we're coaching married couples and couples that are aspiring to be married, like premarital counseling is completely opposite. But I hear what you're saying. Like, sometimes it depends on the man.
Exactly.
That could feed fuel to a really bad fire, right? Because then it could really go wrong. But what I hear you saying is the most important thing is your actions. Even if you don't leave because he's left, like you're not doing tit for tat. Like I would never condone tit for tat for me, but I used to do that. But I would say if we still did something different, our movements are just different. Like we might be watching TV and we never watch TV. And you're like, wait, she never watches TV. Yeah. So I get what you're saying. The actions just need to be different.
Yeah.
Wow.
He likes grits, eggs, and bacon. Now you just give him some grits. You know what I'm saying? You're still doing your wifely duty of feeding him, but now you switched up. And when he asks you, you say, well, the man that deserves the grits and the eggs and the bacon would do X, Y, and Z. That's all.
That's what you're saying without saying it.
Exactly.
Whoa! Y'all better pick up that nugget, y'all. I mean, that's like, I almost like feel like I'm walking around with like a picket sign or something. Like I'm on strike at my home if I do that. But that so makes sense.
Yeah.
And you can do that because a lot of times we as women, and I'm going to say it, y'all get mad at me later. It's all good. I love you still. Is we want to argue with y'all. We want to get the last word. We want to be loud. We want to cry. We want to fall out on the floor. I mean, probably not quite that dramatic, but we want to kind of really, we want to be heard, really. And what I'm hearing is you're not hearing us.
Nope.
You're watching us.
Yep.
That's that whole man from Venus, women from Mars thing or whatever.
Yeah, men and women think differently. Yep.
Wow. So we don't have to say, well, look, if I could find me another man, then he would get the eggs and the grits and the bacon. But because you act, that's what we don't normally do. We're going to tell you what we're doing. You're saying, stop that. Just do it. And you're still doing your wifely duties, but you might just kind of, you might not have went the extra mile to get the bacon this time.
Yep.
I got it. What would you say, Khalil, before I go to the next question? Because we're almost coming in for a quick close.
Most definitely. Uniqueness is always a plus. Stuff you could put there that implies certain things and make you wonder.
Because y'all are thinkers.
Is there something wrong? No, there's nothing wrong, baby. You sure?
See, the mouth is saying one thing. The mouth is saying one thing, but the actions are saying something different.
Wow, y'all are like straight giving us the cliff notes here. Like seriously, I got a question for you, J6. What do you say to that real quick before I ask the next question? J6 not there. Okay, I have a question. What's up? And I'm about to take it really immature real quick. Okay, because it's considered to be immature to a lot of people, but to a lot of people, it's not considered to be immature to do this. Okay, but I want to hear y'all's thought on this. How do you feel about your woman asking to have the code to your phone and having access to your location and having access to your phone?
No, you gotta be my wife. My wife can have that.
Okay, your wife can have that. Okay.
Yes.
Like no questions asked. She can have your location. She can have your code.
Everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Good man.
Somebody said, good question, Denise. Thank you very much. I just want to know. I'm just curious.
If you're married, that's fine. That's fine if you're married. But if you're not married, that is not fine.
Okay. I got it. Yeah. How do we know y'all want to marry us? What do y'all do for us to know y'all want to marry us?
How do you know?
Yeah, how would we know?
Because we'll ask you.
I know that sounded like a dumb question, didn't it? But I'm like, like sometimes we'll spend like years with y'all. Some of us. And then hey brother. Oh, you're in the restaurant. Can you mute for me?
We would have those discussions. We would have those discussions. But see, Denise, here's the issue. The issue is,
bring it on.
Men have not been groomed to be husbands. But women have
been groomed to be wives.
Yep.
I kind of disagree with that too. I agree with it and I disagree with it. Because let me tell you,
Now let me say this. And so I made that statement to some ladies just the other day. I was at an event, and this is what they said. They said, yeah, that's true for Anglo women, but not for Black women. That Anglo women have been groomed to be wives, but not necessarily Black women. And I said, let me say it this way. we as men have not been groomed to be the prince or the king, but you all have been groomed to be the so-called princess or queen. So that whole fantasy of having the man with the children and the house and the whatever, that's not how we think as men.
Tell me, brother.
That is not how we think. That is not how we think.
Wow.
Because we're not groomed for that. We have never really seen that model before us. And you can't expect for a man to do what he's never seen.
Wow. And that would be, and would you say that's majority of the men?
The majority of us.
Yeah.
The majority of us.
And that's why it's so hard to find, or, that could be one of the reasons why it's so hard to find a good mate on both sides.
We're always asked as little boys coming up, hey boy, how many girlfriends you got?
Wow.
Nobody says to a little girl, how many boyfriends you got?
Wow.
Come on now. Let's be real.
That is real talk. Listen, shout out to the mamas out there. Shout out to the mentors out there, to grandma and them, aunties, and anybody else who's raising young men. You just said a mouthful right there. And that's a huge paradigm shift. We've got to do a better job as a tribe. Right, Kaylee, as a tribe to do what you just said, brother. Is to condition our young men how to be husbands versus, how many girls did you get? I had a conversation with someone that I mentored recently, and he thought this was a joke. So I got to put it out there. I'm just going to be real about it. He thought this was funny. He said he walked to his dad and told his dad that his babysitter looked at him because he was getting tall and, he didn't seem like somebody who should be babysat anymore. And so they had relations. And the thing was that the babysitter was much older than him still. Mm-hmm. And in law, it could have been considered rape. Mm-hmm. But he went and told his dad about this. Was dad? He told his dad, and his dad said to him, boy, don't tell your mom about that now. That's good. Let's talk about it. That is disgusting.
Yep.
Okay. And that's where that garbage starts.
Yep.
Like real talk. I mean, and I would venture to say, like you said, that it happens more often than not. And somebody's got to stand up. And I believe that in addition to the men standing up to teach their men how to be husbands, especially if they're a husband, you really can't teach anybody something you aren't. Okay. I believe that. Or you've never experienced. Okay. The women can teach their sons. We can teach our sons how to treat women.
Exactly.
That we can do. We can't teach them how to be a man, but we can teach them how to be respectful to women, how to open the door, how, you don't lay your hands on them, hitting them. You ain't got to rush to get the cookies, all those things that we can do. We can even do those things in the church. And there's a way to do it. What does the Bible say about how, what does the word say? If we want to go that route for the churches that have large youth ministries, those conversations we don't even have sex education in schools anymore.
Yep.
So where do you think they're getting their education from about it?
Their phones and everything else.
I'm just saying. Khalil, what you got to say about that before we close out of this thing? Because we this could go all night, and we got to close out. Got another interview.
We learn by nature.
What was that?
I said we learn by it's passed down basically.
Wow. Generation to generation, huh?
Just the principles you raised on is gonna follow you your whole life.
And it could be a legacy, or it could be a blessing, it could be a curse. Well, I mean a favor, it could be, however you look at it. I see, Kaylee, you said, we as women have to learn to respect our own self first. I like that.
We too as men have to learn to respect ourselves first, because if we had that respect, we wouldn't be trying to run around trying to put our love man in any and everything.
Wow.
We do real assessment, see, because we know, once you get to a certain frequency, that that everything is an energy exchange. So you'd be very cautious about what you exchange your energy with at that point.
Wow, you'd be very cautious about what energy you're allowing in your circle.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's a bond right there that never be seen by the eye, but it's there.
Wow. Here's my thought, and then we're going to close out. I have to say, I really, 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 really appreciate you all's candor. I'm going to have to bring you back. I'm going to have to, because I want to hear more, and I think others would like to hear more. And I think that I would love for more men, especially the 4 that bailed on me at the last minute because they've got a little scared. But I would love to see more men come in and really just give listen, it's your assessment. It's based on your experiences. It's based on your truth. And, I think we can all learn from each other and just be better in relationships. Keep our relationships a little bit, not a little bit, but a lot more, as my pastor said, actually this past Sunday, wait a minute, keep it more, you don't have to react so fast. Think about what you're doing. Many of you meditate, many of you pray, many of you, communicate better. Be a good example to these young people that somebody's watching you in your relationships. Somebody's paying attention to what you do. And remember, what you do is, like Brother Khalil said, is passed on generation to generation, what you do or what you didn't do. And, I would love to see more marriages. I would love to see more unions. I would love to see more people getting along in their marriages, and where divorce is a thing of the past, where, divorce is not an option. Dating for 25 years is not an option. You decide to, have some commitment there, and, have a family and grow together, grow in love and in peace, and, all of those fun things. And I would love to repeat what Kaylee said, and she's been watching us the entire time and really been giving a lot of input. She said, "Thank you, gentlemen, for helping us tonight. Thank you for helping us tonight."
You're welcome.
You took a stance and you gave us some really valid information. And quite frankly, I'm going to be thinking about it quite a bit, because there's some things you said tonight that have confirmed some things for me. And also, it was going to help me or support me in really trying to overstand, I should say, my new husband, because you have to go at things a little bit differently these days. You can't go at the way you always went, because you're going to get what you always got, right? So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. I want you to say yes real loud, real quick.
Yes.
That means you're coming back. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Khalil. I don't know what you're eating, brother, but it looks like it's really good. Anytime you do like this when you're eating, is real good. Really good conversation from a sister here. Lamal Lioness Woman. Okay. I think I said that right. I don't have my glasses on, y'all. And I don't even know where they at. So my bad. And great job, Denise. Appreciate that, sister. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So J6, brother, we couldn't hear you. I don't know what happened, but you said yes. I'm sure you did. I heard it. Yeah, we all heard it. Got a witness here. So we hope to see you next time as well. In a couple of weeks, everybody, we are going to have the women come on board and talk about their view. I have to bring the men back because of that, because I know the women are going to be loaded and ready to go. And they're going to come in a bunch. I'm about to tell you right now. And so I do want our men to have an opportunity to just kind of respond. And so we can get better. We can get better. We can get better. We can get better. I'm going to close out. I have another interview with Fred Johnson Jr. here in about 10 minutes. And he has a huge podcast that is very popular, where he is really he's just being honest about it. He's talking about some conversations that many many men don't want to talk about. Hey, sister, give me a second. That many men don't want to talk about. I mean, it's so much bigger than relationships. I'm gonna say bolder. Okay. So we're gonna wait a minute. Uh-oh. She said bring both of y'all together. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the women first because we've already committed. Give them their time, and then we're gonna bring y'all back together for whoever. Men, I can hold 10 of you on here, okay? And let's have a great, productive conversation about how we can make things better. Sound good?
All right.
Sound good. Sound good. Talk to you all later. Have a great night. And
Thank you
it's
so much.
been a blast.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks, Khalil.
Enjoy
Thanks,
the-
J6. See you later.